behavior of the return suggests that it contains a lot of fluctuations. So return is volatile. So the basic task of Arch and Gart's model is to analyze the volatility involved in the return series. So if we look at the time plot of the return, you can easily understand that the variance of return is not uniform over time.
Sir, দুজনকে accept করুন.
Okay. So the variance of the return or the volatility involved in the return is time dependent. So our basic task is to analyze the time dependence of the volatility involved in return. And in theory, you are familiar with the basic models used in analyzing the nature of volatility. One is the Arch autoregressive conditional heteroscedastic model developed by Engel. Another one is Garch generalized autoregressive conditional heteroscedastic model. So at the first hand, just by looking at the time plot, we have some idea that the return series may contain Arch or Garch kind of behavior. Okay, that is, the variance of the series is not time constant. So there is a problem of heteroscedasticity. And we are interested mainly heteroscedasticity for the short run, for the short period. That's why we call it conditional heteroscedasticity. Conditional heteroscedasticity and unconditional heteroscedasticity, the basic difference between them, unconditional heteroscedasticity deals with the long run issue, but conditional heteroscedasticity deals with the short run issue. Okay, so next we try to analyze the behavior of short run heteroscedastic behavior of the return series. Now you can also confirm whether the series may contain Arch or Garch kind of effect. You can also look at the autocorrelation function, and you have some idea about the behavior of this series. So now let we concentrate on the series return. Forget about the sensex. So we have generated return by taking first difference of the closing value of sensitivity index. Now we try to analyze the behavior of the return, and by plotting the return series, we have got this kind of behavior. It suggests the variance of the return is not uniform, is not constant, it is time dependent, and during some period variance is more, during some period variance is less. So variances are clustered, okay, during some periods. For that reason, this kind of model is called volatility clustering model. So after looking at this behavior, let we look at the shape of the autocorrelation function of the return series. So just put the command AC for autocorrelation, AC space return. You will get this kind of figure. Okay.
Sir, আরেকবার command একটু বলবেন?
Command simple AC space the variable name. AC space variable name, variable here is a return. So AC space return. After entering, you will get this kind of autocorrelation function. So this autocorrelation function suggests there is no particular pattern of the autocorrelation. Again, construct another variable, return square. So you need to generate another variable. So please write down the command generate G space return you have return, so you have to put another name, return 2. Return 2 means return square, you have to keep in mind. So generate return 2 is equal to return into return. Into means asterisk sign. Return 2 is equal to return into return. We are generating another series, return square. You have generated return. Now generate another series, return square. So how to get it? Command it, generate G space return 2 is equal to return into return. Mute koro. Please keep your device in mute form. So after getting the new variable return square, again look at the behavior of return square. So plot autocorrelation function for return square. AC space return square. Command is AC space return square. Return square means return 2 you have generated. So the autocorrelation function of the square of the series looks like this. So now compare the autocorrelation function of the original series YT and the autocorrelation function of the square of YT. If the autocorrelation function of the original series shows no specific pattern of autocorrelation, you can say that the series is stationary. But its square component shows a particular pattern of autocorrelation. So if we moves on over time, autocorrelation is declining monotonically. So it is a common behavior of the non-stationary series, non-stationary autoregressive series. So your basic inference by looking at these two.
স্যার নামটা আরেকবার বলবেন?
স্যার এই পার্টটা একবার রিপিট করবেন স্যার?
এই পার্টটা হচ্ছে এখানে আমরা কি করলাম, রিটার্ন স্কোয়ারের অটোকোরিলেশন ফাংশনটা দেখলাম। The shape of the autocorrelation function of return square is monotonically declining. Just try to remember the autocorrelation function for AR series. If autocorrelation function for AR series declining over time slowly, you can infer that the series may contain unit root. Similarly, we can say this series means return square. The square of the return series may contain unit root. So if the return square series autocorrelation function of return square follows a particular pattern, but the autocorrelation function of the original series follows no pattern at all, then you have some doubt about the presence of arch or gauge kind of effect in your series. So what is your series? Your series is return. And you have looked at the behavior of the return. So you can specify return series in this way. Return is a constant, that is the mean value. If you calculate the mean value, as there is no trend here, so mean value, mean return will be a constant. Okay. But the variance of the return is reflected by the fluctuations. Variance of the return is not constant. Variance of the return follows some kind of behavior, and we need to analyze those behavior now. Okay. So after looking at the behavior of the autocorrelation function of the return series as well as the square of the return series, we can say that there may be arch effect in the return. arch effect in the return means the variance of the return will be time dependent. And in a finance, variance of the stock price or variance of the return simply indicates the risk. So risk is not constant. Risk changes over time. So we need to analyze the behavior of the risk. Okay. So how to proceed? So let us start with the basic model. So please write down the basic model. I have not written here. Write down the basic model. Suppose YT denotes return. So what would be the specification of return function? Yt is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t. Why Yt is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t? If you take the expectation on both sides, the mean value of return, it will be constant. It will be equal to the intercept term. Why we have chosen this form? Because the time plot of the return suggests that the mean value of the return is a constant. So that's why suppose we specify the return function in this way: return is equal to return at time t is equal to intercept term plus the random error epsilon t. That is yt denotes return in time t is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t. And we need to estimate this model. How to estimate this model? Estimate this model by applying OLS. So in Stata command window, you have to write reg for OLS regression, space return. So return is the dependent variable, and we do not opt here any independent variable. That means by default you have considered only the interceptor. So if your model Yt is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t, and if you want to estimate this model by applying OLS, the basic command in Stata will be reg space return. So after executing this command, you will get this kind of output window. Please compare this window to your laptop or computer where you have actually gate. So this is the output window giving the estimated model. If you look at the lower part, you have only constant, means the intercept term. So we have opt only the intercept term. So what is the value for intercept? 0.000449. This is standard error, t statistics, probability for accepting the null hypothesis. So all these statistics suggests that the mean return is 0.000449. This is the mean return over the period we have. And this mean value is statistically significant because the probability is less than 5%. Okay. Now look at the upper right part of the output window. It is somehow different from the figures we have in the case of a conventional linear regression model. The number of observations we have used 7,144 data points you have, but the rest all are zero. F is 0, probability of F 0, there is no R square, all are 0. Why? Because we have not considered any regressors here. There is no independent variable in our model. As there is no independent variable, there is no question of R square, because R square provides you the relation between the regressors and the regressant. So as there is no regressors in our model, so R square is 0. So you should not worried about to find out the zero value of r square. So it is quite natural to get the 0 r square because of the specification of this model. So by estimating this model, we have only one information, only one inference, that is the mean return is 0.000449. Now in estimating this model, so this is our conventional regression model. In estimating this model, we assume that the variance of the random error is constant. And you know the variance of the random error and the variance of the dependent variable are similar. Variance of epsilon t is equal to variance of yt. So the behavior of the variance of the return and the behavior of the variance of the random term epsilon, they are the same. So in estimating this model, we assume in the background that the variance of the return is constant. But we have already seen in our time plotting that the variance of the return series is not actually time constant, it is a time variable. So to capture the time dependency of the variance function, we have to follow this way. So before we have to capture the arch and Garch effect into your model. Okay. Now, till at this step, you have not carried out any test in looking at whether arch or Garch kind of effect is present in your model or not. We have some guess by looking at the behavior of the autocorrelation function, by looking at the behavior of the time plot of the series. But till now, we have not carried out any formal test for the presence of arch or Garch kind of effect. So after estimating this regression model on the basis of the assumption that the variance is constant, now let us look at whether there is any arch or Garch kind of effect in this model. That is whether the assumption, constant variance assumption, is valid or not. So how to carry out this? For that purpose, execute this command, testing for arch effect. The command is stat arch lm. So this is the familiar lm test for the presence of arch. Estat, 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 you know, this command is used for post estimation diagnostic. So after estimating a model, we are looking at whether the constant variance assumption in this model is valid or not. So for that purpose, we need to execute this command stat arch lm. After executing this command, you will get this output window. Just look at it. Have you got the similar output window in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the last line indicates H naught, the null hypothesis here. The null hypothesis in this case, null hypothesis, no arch effect. Alternative, presence of arch effect. The test statistics used here, chi-square statistics. The value of chi-square indicates the null hypothesis is rejected. The probability value 0 indicates that you can reject the null hypothesis. So what is your null hypothesis? No arch effect. So rejection of null hypothesis means the presence of arch effect into this model. So the underlying assumptions or the background assumptions on the random disturbance, that is the constant variance assumption, is not valid at all. So this result is not meaningful. Okay, so to estimate the mean return, we need to consider the time dependence of the variance of the return function. So for that purpose, suppose we incorporate the time dependency of the variance of the return function. And if you try to remember, the basic simple model to capture the time dependency is Arch-1 model or Garch-1-1 model. Okay, so if we incorporate Garch-1-1 effect into the return function, you need to execute this command arch. So arch is the basic command in all cases. This is the basic command in looking at the time dependency of the variance of the variable. So you have to write arch space the variable name return. Okay. In our earlier step, we have used the command reg, linear regression, by assuming variance is constant. Now we allow the variance is time dependent. And we are introducing the arch effect into your model. So the command in stata arch space the variable name, comma, after comma, the part appears what is called the condition. What is the condition you have put? Arch-1, Garch-1. So Arch-1, Garch-1, this command indicates we are considering Garch-1-1 model. Okay. So after executing this command, you will get this output window. So it is a maximum likelihood estimates. And you know maximum likelihood, how do you get maximum likelihood? Through iteration. So after some iteration, the estimated model will appear at the maximum log likelihood, where you have got the maximum value of the log likelihood, you will get the estimated results. Now there are two parts of this output window. First part, this one. This part relates to the mean function. Mean function means you have already executed the command reg. So by executing the linear regression, you know by...
Hello, sir.
Yes.
স্যার শান্তিকার একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছিল, তো নেট কানেকশনে প্রবলেম হচ্ছিল, বেরিয়ে গেছে স্যার। ও আপনাকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে বলছে, একটু পারবেন করতে? থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
দাঁড়াও, কোথায় আমি তো দেখছি না এখানে। ওই ওয়েটিং তো দেখছি না কাউকে। Yes. So this is actually the mean equation. So in our conventional linear regression model, our basic objective is to find out the population regression function. Population regression function means the conditional mean function. So linear regression model provides you the conditional mean. So this is the mean function. So when we apply the arch command, we have got simultaneously the mean function. This is the estimated function for the mean. That is what you have got by executing linear regression OLS. And the lower part is the estimated value for the arch or Garch model. Okay, just try to remember the basic structure of the Garch model. In a Garch or arch kind of model, you have to specify first the mean equation YT. In our case, YT is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t. This is the mean equation. And when we estimate arch, that is, we also estimating the variance equation. So when we apply the arch command, we are estimating simultaneously the mean equation as well as the variance equation. So our mean equation is YT is equal to phi naught plus epsilon t, and the variance equation is sigma squared t. As we are using Garch-1-1, sigma squared t is equal to theta naught plus theta 1 epsilon square t minus 1 plus beta 1 sigma square t minus 1. So this is the basic specification for GARCH 1, 1. So this is the estimated form of the first equation. This is the estimated form of the second equation. So in the first equation, you have got the mean return. Just the mean value is roughly similar, although they are not exactly similar. Earlier we have got 0.000044 something. Now we have got 0.00007848 like this. So it is nearly equal to 0. And it is also statistically significant. So this is the mean value. So we have got this mean value by considering the variance as a time dependent. So what is the nature of the variance function? This is arch L1. So this is the coefficient for theta 1. That is the coefficient for epsilon square t minus 1 is 0.1051. And it is statistically significant. And this is the coefficient for sigma square t minus 1. That is beta 1. It is also statistically significant. And this is the value for theta naught. And the value for theta naught is 0 roughly. Okay. So this model suggests,
স্যার দুজনকে accept করতে বলছে, একটু করে নিন না।
this model suggests, okay, this model suggests the presence of arch and GARCH is significant in the return function.
স্যার স্যার এই লাস্ট পোরশনটা একবার রিপিট করবেন, এই যে আর্চ L1 ডট ওই পোরশনটা।
Arch L1 dot means this is the coefficient for epsilon square t minus 1. And GARCH L1 dot means this is the coefficient for sigma square t minus 1. What is the basic specification for GARCH 1, 1? When we specify GARCH 1, 1, the variance function is sigma square t. Sigma square means the variance of the random error. Sigma square t is equal to theta naught plus theta 1 epsilon square t minus 1 plus theta 1 sigma square t minus 1. So the coefficient for epsilon square t minus 1 provides the arch effect, and the coefficient for sigma square t minus 1 provides the GARCH effect. So this is the coefficient estimated value for theta 1 hat. This is the estimated value for beta 1, that is beta 1 hat. And this model suggests that the arch and GARCH effect presents in the behavior of the return we have. So by this output window, how do we interpret it? The mean return is 0, nearly equal to 0, and the variance of the return, that is the return is volatile. Variance of the return is not time independent. Variance of the return is not constant. The variance of the return is time dependent, and the model follows GARCH kind of model. That is, the arch effect is significant, GARCH effect is also significant. So this is the second part, indicates the behavior of the risk function in terms of the variable we have used here, because we are using the variable return. So this is the mean function, this is the mean function, and this is the variance function. Variance function, particularly in this example, provides the behavior of the risk. So risk is not time independent. Risk is a time dependent variable, and the behavior of the risk varies over time. So risk is not constant everywhere. During some period, risk is more as compared to the other periods. Okay. Now we have again time remaining less than 1 minute. So we need to continue. We need to start another meeting to finish the tasks we have for today. So this is the basic GARCH 1, 1 model. So we have started with the simple linear regression model. We are
স্যার অনেককে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে বলছে, অনেকে নাকি লিভ করে গেছে সেটা বলছে।
এখন করে লাভ নেই, কয়েক সেকেন্ড রয়েছে, আমি নেক্সট মিটিং আবার করব। So this is the mean return function. Mean return function এ arch effect রয়েছে. So this is the testing for the presence of arch, as we reject the null hypothesis, that is, as the test suggests arch effect presence, we allow here the presence of arch 1, Garch 1, and by incorporating arch 1, Garch 1, we have this kind of result. Now we need to interpret this result. What is the interpretation? Mean return over the time is 0.000 like this, and it is statistically significant. This mean return contains a lot of risk, and risk is not time independent. Risk is time dependent. The time behavior of the risk is specified by the Garch 1-1 model, and both the Garch and arch effects are statistically significant in this estimation. Okay, so here the arch parameter we have 0.105 and Garch 1 parameter we have 0.892.